Hi, I'm Chris from quiltfabric.com, and today I'm going to show you how to miter borders. So this is a quilt I just made recently and it needs to have some borders on it. I've decided to put on a small green inner border and then a larger outer border, and so I'm going to miter because it's actually easier than putting on two sets of straight borders. So in my opinion, there's only two times when you need to bother doing mitering. One is if you're doing multiple borders, and the other one is if you're doing like a floral or something that you want to meet up in the corner. And maybe the camera could go around and show the quilt we have over here. This is mitered, so those stripes all meet together nicely, and there's actually a couple different borders here that are meeting, and that's a good time to miter it. Okay, so if we look down here, just so everybody understands what I mean by mitered. When you do mitered borders, it's when they have this 45-degree angle there, and it looks more like a picture frame, okay? So as opposed to just straight borders, I'm going to be mitering. So I made this little scale model so you could see, but now I'm going to show you how I'd actually do it on the big quilt, because a lot of people have trouble with it. And it doesn't have to be hard, because I came up with a cool, easy trick. So what you do is you lay your quilt down. I got it hanging on the wall, but pretend I was laying down. And you do the long sides first, and then you do the short sides. But just because it's easier to show you in the camera, I'm going to show you how to measure the short side. So I've got my two strips of borders, and first you sew on the narrow border. So you make your sets first. And I didn't need them to go all the way to the end because I'm going to trim this and it would be a waste. So if I take a pin and match this up out here somewhere, pin that on, then I'm going to go over to the other side. Oops. And the idea is to have this stay flat, put this across, and then take something and make a mark where this meets the end here. And I'm going to mark the other one. And then I would do the same thing over here. Whoops. Ha! That's always something. Mark this so I can cut it. And then I take them over here on my mat, and I need to make a cut from where I made this mark. And doing this is easier than you might think. Your rulers have these lines on them that you may not have paid any attention to. These white lines at the angles are 60-degree and 45-degree lines. So if I put this on my mat, parallel to line there, parallel to line there, and I take the 45-degree line and put it on the bottom here, so I'm lining it up with the edge of that, and then if I get this edge of the ruler over with the mark that I made, then all I have to do is cut it. In fact, I'll just cut that off. So I don't need this anymore. And then I'm going to go do it on the other side. And then I'm going to sew the four sides on the quilt like I had it over here. And it doesn't actually matter what order you do them in. You just need to get the two longer sides on and the two shorter sides on. The only thing is you're going to stop a 1/4 inch in both on there and on here, like you do when you're doing diamonds or something. So you don't sew all the way to the end, you have to stop there. So the first thing you do is sew the sides, pretend like that, sew this long side, and then this is still flapping in the wind because you didn't sew it yet, and then you just sew from the dots where you stopped down to the end there, and you're done, and it'll all lay flat. And that's all there is to it. Thanks.